welcome once again to some Wargame Airland battle action. It's going to be 2 versus 2 on the Oslo map. So we've got NATO, myself, Lightman and Eagle, and on Pact we've got Private Vangelator and iRobot7532. We'll just see the game from their perspective. So let's just fast forward. So yeah, Oslo, as you can see, got a bit of a combination of well, a couple of hills here and there, but mostly it's a bit of a flat map with some forests and some urban terrain, as well as a couple of lakes and all that, and rivers and such too. We'll see what happens. Battle line's been drawn. Ventilator's apparently going to be going through the southern flank, and I'll be going through there. Okay, no problemo. So we'll just slow things down a bit. Damn, I got stuff getting shot down already and I kind of missed it. Oh well. Well, there we go, at least we got to see it explode majestically into this little parking lot, and amazingly enough, look at that. This car is completely unaffected. Actually, same with this car as well, despite the fact that I had a plane go through there. Just gotta love it. In any case, Eagle coming in with his own infantry, and yeah, also going to be sending his own stuff to just keep an eye on that flank. Definitely don't want our opponents going all the way around. It'd be kind of funny if that actually ever does happen, but in any case, we do have the initial advantage, and what you know, I'm actually dropping off some infantry in these 2 urban sectors just to secure this road, really. There's this other road, but it doesn't really lead anywhere in particular, so I suppose the enemy could still skirt around if they want to, but what the hell, we'll see what happens. Let's have a look. Yep, looks like I'm playing as France, and my ally Eagle is playing as West Germany by the looks of things. As for opponents, looks like we've got USSR by both of them, from what I can tell. So there you have it. A couple of things. Helicopters, I think, being destroyed. I think that was it. Something getting destroyed anyway. And a bit of intense combat for Foxtrot indeed. Eagle's going to want to be a little bit careful with some of his infantry. Definitely doesn't want to get his SAMs that far forward. Although now that he's got them here, he actually should be deploying them. Not really sure what the hell he's doing there. But in any case, yep, forcing iRobots to get out of there. It looks like it's just iRobots contesting that point. Another plane unfortunately getting blown to pieces. That was a Starfighter, I believe, the West German one. Blowing up majestically once again, and just have a look actually. Yep, looks like the Montestrelskis are slowly but surely getting driven out. We've got, wow, we actually got AAA firing at a flame tank, funnily enough, and finally these guys get out of there, so it took the time. Eagle's saying to attack there. Let's just have a look actually. There's a couple of F4Fs as well, just to provide a bit of air cover, anti-air cover that is. And I saw Eagle, he's actually... Oh, there we go. Actually, no, wait a minute. Let's just have a look. Never mind, actually have a couple of Marine Pumas coming in as well, sweeping in. This is kind of why you want to keep your flanks defended. In case, yeah, they're sweeping in, and will they be able to take out the CV? It's going to come down to the freaking wire. Nope, this one's going to get stunned and probably destroyed in just a second. Oh, no, never mind. It's got another shot, and indeed. Unfortunately, it is going to get taken out. A bit overkill to be sending in an Su-27S, but there you go. A freaking Jeep CV survives. A couple of helicopters being thrown at it. Well, a couple more helicopters by Eagle coming in, along with some recon infantry in larger numbers, something you don't see too often. Maybe they're going to be... Yeah, I can't remember. I don't think West Germany really gets too much in the way of special forces, but we'll just see what he deploys there. He just seems to be content to keep the helicopters hovering and not really doing anything, so let's just have a look what else is happening around here. So I've got my reservists engaging Spetsnazers, a little bit of a one-sided conflict, especially since these guys are out in the open actually. But there we go, these other reservists of mine do manage to get into position, and not able to fire though, strangely enough. Huh. Oh, okay, probably because these buildings are in the way, so they probably should be teleporting to this building. Whoopsie long. Oh well. Coming to the Eagle coming in from the northern flank of the middle, just to secure these buildings, and there we go, finally these reservists come in. And they are going to get shaken but not stirred, and yep, thankfully the Spetsnazers are out of napalm. I think they used them all up on these reservists. Doing quite a bit of damage, taking out one squad, but these guys will come in now, and unfortunately these Spetsnaz are still freaking calm though, which is pretty annoying. And then again, these are freaking reservists that are engaging them, so yeah, as you can see, these guys definitely... Okay, yeah, a couple of recon infantry as well. Yeah, Spetsnaz is definitely incredible versus infantry, especially reservists, infantry. Wow, just a single squad of these guys. Panicking these guys. These guys are panicked as well. These guys are just slightly worried and still got pretty good health actually. Who to think? Actually, I wonder if that thing... Oh, what do you know? Even their LMG is actually close quarter combat. And there you go. So far these guys have killed 3 squads of reservists. Not enough to pay for themselves, but definitely being quite the pain in the ass. Do have a Harpon coming in. Should be able to clear these guys out with relative ease once it actually gets close enough. Apart from that, not much else happening. Foxtrot is pretty nicely secured. Our opponents could actually try to get a bit of a beachhead through here or possibly through here, but as you can see, Eagle is slowly but surely moving up. Even sending up his BGS a bit forward. Not really sure why he's doing that actually. But they... Are these guys getting attacked at all? Doesn't look like it actually. I'll be damned. In fact, I think... Oh, these guys are actually firing at the BMP-3s. These things are not cheap, these BMP-3s. Don't think any of them have fallen just yet, but we'll just have a look. They should have... No, never mind, they don't have any more rockets left. Well, sucks to be them, and now the BMPs are probably going to go to town on, but nope, they're actually going to ignore them entirely. Keep going for these Jaegers, who unfortunately are a little bit exposed. If I was Eagle, I'd just be retreating them, really. I mean, it's one thing to send them up against Montestrelskis, but with BMP and support too far away to really make use of the not ATGMs, but just rocket launchers. Yeah, should retreat them. ATGMs actually on the way, definitely what he needs. Tunguskas by our robots, he should be spreading them out. There's no point keeping triple, or rather just double AA together like that. But in any case, unfortunately my Super Tintad does get taken down, and what the hell, let's get a nice little view of him crash landing. Bam. Just got at it. Yeah, as you can see, we do still have a pretty good advantage. We managed to pretty much seize the initiative at the beginning, and just having a look actually. Okay, unfortunately this UAZ is still alive. Great. Interesting. I'm pretty sure Eagle had 2 lots of 2 squads of BGSs, or Eco Infantry in general. One of them seems to have been lost, and the helicopters have been lost as well in a bit of a futile effort, so it sucks, but what can you do? Harpon's coming in for myself. Don't want to get them too close though. These VDVs do have extended range on their rocket launchers. These guys, yep, unfortunately one of the Harpons going to get taken out. Still doing a bit of damage, unfortunately he's going to be panicked. Very fortunate actually, I believe that rocket launcher did just miss the Harpon barely. Reservist not really doing too much either. I think it was an empty transport or something getting blown up. His Harpon probably could stand to get out of there, but well, what the hell, I mean he has panicked the VDV, so there you go. Unfortunately more ATGMs on the way, and bam, Concorders is managing to finish off the Harpons. Sucks, what can you do? My Hussards not going to fare too well either, just trying to rush things forward and underestimating the defense that my opponent has here. It's actually not that sizable, but the fact that I'm just sending my stuff in dribs and drabs is having a bit of an effect. I probably should be sending in a bit of anti-air, and what do you know, we've got at least the Ornar being sent in with, well, not such a bad range I guess, but still. Better than nothing. Should be able to take out a couple of helicopters, but nope. Concourses coming in, and bam. They're going to get destroyed. Looks like this game's going to end relatively quickly. The hell's this thing? Oh, okay. Anti-radar. Whoa, okay. Seed probably going a little bit too close to anti-air to say the least, but of course it's going to survive. Just freaking dandy, and we're also going to have plenty of crap being dropped on us in tune. Although, wait a minute, no, damn it. Well, at least I do have some air-based anti-air at the very least, not really doing too much. Better than nothing, but there you go. And yet more seed flying out. Well, they seem to be going quite a bit of that actually. Not going to be enough to turn the tide most likely, given the fact that we do have pretty strong positions amongst the city sectors. We do have Angelato trying to establish a bit of a bridgehead, and admittedly he does have one. It's pretty fragile though, and apart from these Concourses, not really much supporting it. In fact, apart from these Eagles, there's no real anti-air around here actually. In fact, these guys are probably a little bit too far back. I could probably send in some bombers or something to bomb these guys out, but will I be doing that? We'll just have a look. I do have... Still got my 2000C RDIs coming in for a bit of anti-air, not much else though, and Vangelator reinforcing his position. And never mind, we actually do have some artillery fire coming in. not really doing much though. And yeah, our robot surrendering is pretty much going to be the end of the enemy team. Although, you never know, maybe Vangelator might be able to turn things around, although I'd say probably not at this point. In any case, yeah, also, yeah, we did manage to secure this rear sector here. Probably could have sent out a recon infantry as well in case they tried to sneak out helicopters, but yeah, helicopters got pretty bad, yeah, pretty bad stealth altogether, and wow, that was pretty freaking short actually. Huh, okay then. Well, they'll probably end up joining this to another video in that case, but there we go. Hopefully you've enjoyed that, and I shall see you all next time. Okay, welcome back again to some Wargame Airland battle action. It's going to be a 4 vs 4 on the good old 3 Mile Island map, so pretty nice little map featured in Wargame European Escalation and now in Wargame Airland Battle. So there you go, we've got NATO consisting of Beastuck, HNU2, J. Delager, Andon, and Pact consisting of Lightman myself, Eagle, Napoleon, funnily enough, and Crone 2 as well. Napoleon's going to be a bit of a difficult player this match, and we'll see how that affects our performance. In any case, looks like I'll be going for Lima, and not much else happening. I just fast forward. Thank God for replays. Looks like Napoleon will be going for Juliet, and Andon will be going for Bravo, so along the western flank there. Crone going for the eastern flank. This is the north pointer, by the way, and there we go. Things have begun. Actually, what did I play as this time around? Looks like I'll be going as Poland, no problemo. Just have a look, and yeah, nothing too fancy being deployed. Some recon infantry. Okay, I'm not really sure why exactly I've been seeing this in the last couple of games, but yeah, we got recon infantry. Two squads bundled together in 2 helicopters in the same control group for some reason, being sent up very close. So there must be special forces, I'm assuming, rather than just regular recon infantry. In either case, they're still surviving actually, so, and they're not landing for some reason. Bit of a mistake actually. Otherwise, what the hell are they doing this far close? And yep, there goes one helicopter, there goes the second one. So definitely lost their window there, bit of a miss micro. They definitely should have at least landed them, for God's sake. But there you go, Eagle coming in with his MiGs and checking them out. Notice myself landing a couple of commandozis in India. And yeah, well, there we go. Just being a bit cautious of my landing, as you can see, landing them a bit further back than what I could have. But well, what the hell? I mean, there's still plenty of helicopters to support, and these guys are just going to continue coming forward. Ground stuff following up. Salamander is going to be tearing into these VLRAs, or they're really just regular rockets will tear into them. But what the hell? I suppose these Salamanders will get the job done just fine and dandy, taking out crap loads of these soft-skinned transports. And there we go, Mi-2Ts to follow up as well with their little machine guns. The Salamander has also got couple of rounds of autocannon ammunition as well. But yeah, these reservists, well, most of them will die, so I suppose some of them will retreat to the forest, but at the same time, my helicopters covering my commandozis will basically ensure that yeah, I can get a nice little foothold here. Damn it, unfortunately my helicopter's getting shot to pieces by something or other. Oh, okay, by the Rollins, of course. Crone 2 actually assisting with the Delphin. I'm not really sure if I noticed that at the time. Unfortunately, it does get taken out, but he does manage to lay down some flames. Not the best placement, not the worst either. Could be a bit better though. T-34 is also coming in, and really this is the perfect position for them to engage in. These reservists out in the open. T-34s without really any ATGMs or enemy tanks to counter them. Absolute dynamite in this particular situation. And there we go, finally my the rest of my ground forces arrive. T-34 still managing to get some pot shots off. Just gotta love these things. And they got plenty of ammunition for their main gunners as well. Really, they're just great, really, for fire support and in close ranges. Of course, that means that they just suck tremendously at longer ranges, but there you go, shouldn't be using them at such ranges in the first place. In any case, we've got Eagle coming in as well to attack what looks like the reinforcement zone of Gulf, and that's probably going to mean that, yeah, Crone is going to be following up with an attack as well. In fact, he seems to be pretty impatient. He's actually attacking right now, and very fortuitous as well. For some reason, their opponents have not put anything in this forest. Going to prove to be their undoing. Usually you want to, you know, make sure your territory is covered rather than just, you know, bunching everything up here. I mean, come on, man. Could to split up these guys a bit more and put them into different forests. Maybe even one squad actually around this dense hedged farmland, but there you go. Reservists having a hell of a time getting blown to hell and back. Unfortunately my T-34s do come in a little bit too close, as well as my empty transports for some reason. Do lose a few T-34s, but really, I mean, they're incredibly cheap and I'm pretty sure they would have made back their cost. Following up with more regular infantry, including AA infantry. Apart from that, not really much else happening. Looks like the western flank is stable. Delphin coming in from Crone again. Yep, Crone continuing to send in infantry into Gulf End, yeah, coming in unopposed. In fact, he could send in a command vehicle right now if he really felt like it. But yeah, I definitely don't know why opponents left this forest like that. I mean, this is a... I mean, it's even right next to a reinforcement route, for God's sake. And ATGMs could cover this reinforcement zone, well, reinforcement road, and this reinforcement road as well. Although we do have some ATGMs via base stack, I suppose, covering this road at the very least. And Crone paying pretty heavily for sending in his transports in unassisted, and he's actually going to get them all destroyed. Motostrelski's only 2 squads remaining, and they're panicked against 4 calm Fusilier squads. They don't stand too much of a chance, to say the least. In fact, I'm not really sure what Crone was doing there. Probably underestimating his opponents a bit, probably because of, you know, he thought that he could take this forest incredibly easily. Maybe he might be able to take this one as well, but nope. We actually do have a beast stack bundling up various troops and vehicles here, and that's actually going to make them susceptible to napalm and artillery, but we'll see what happens though. We do have a counter-attack of Royal Marines as well coming in. Let's just hide the HUD and see if we can get a nice close in view happening there. So just driving in, as well as some other vehicles coming in, and unfortunately I can't really see what's going on that forest, so there we go. I'll just zoom out there. There you go, Royal Marines. Unfortunately they're all panicked, but then again, actually no, these guys, well, there's a couple of squads here and they're panicked, but Motostrelski is actually calm. OT-64As, yeah, doing a bit of damage, but these guys do still have Carl Gustavs, and yeah, should be able to take out these vehicles with relative ease, even though they are panicked. Motostrelski squad will also get taken out pretty quickly as well. So there we go, B-Stack actually managing to counter-attack finally to reclaim Gulf. Who to freaking think? Crone actually, whoa, being very foolhardy with his planes there. He does actually manage to drop a couple of bombs that miss the rapier. He does manage to drop some napalm though, which does force the Sultan out, but only just a bit really, and yeah, then he can just recapture that point pretty easily. FJB is also coming in as well. These guys, yeah, they do actually have Strelas, so let's see. Nope, unfortunately they don't manage to take out that aircraft though, and these guys are panicked to hell and back. So it sucks to be them. A B-Stack is going to be replying by getting some infantry into the hills of his own. In fact, if I was him actually, I'd kind of send in just some really cheap transports of cheap infantry all along this ridge, just to make sure there's nothing else sneaking around, because really he's just leaving a massive area around here just by sending in one group of warriors with infantry in there. Thankfully though, for a beast stack here, there is nothing else coming in through there, but he is leaving quite a bit open. But what the hell, he should be able to take out his Montschutzens pretty easily, and the FJBs as well, with relative ease. And there you go, I guess he'll be able to secure this little bit of the mountainside. I suppose he could actually relocate his infantry around here as well, just to block off this reinforcement road. See what happens though. And speaking of which, Delta, yep, I actually did manage to clear out the reservists, I believe they were, and yeah, just continuing to hammer my opponent. I believe I'm actually playing a Cat C Poland deck, and as you can see, yeah, got quite a few artillery pieces to show for that. Yeah, just gotta love it. I believe I've actually got them yeah, I think I've got them waypointed to yeah, I think I've got them waypointed to actually shoot it a couple of times at different things. And there we go, even got a bit of air spam coming in as well. You just gotta love it. It just gets a bit of a close in view there. Where the hell are the other limbs? Oh, there they are. Kind of wanted to get a closer look at them. Where the hell are these guys going? One of them seems to be going here. These guys are all going here. Ah, okay, against these ATGMs, of course. A little bit overkill. I'm not really sure why I sent in all those guys at once. Kind of tipping my hand as to, you know, showing that I had quite a few aircraft there, even losing one of them, but thankfully they are pretty cheap. well, we'll see what the next attack brings. We'll just have to keep a careful eye on the minimap. Just having a look, we only got Pioneers left. 4 squads of Fusiliers against Pioneers. Well, these guys might actually have a chance, especially if these Fusiliers all clumped up. If they were spread out, then yeah, I don't think the Pioneers will be able to do much, but there you go. What do we have here? Ah, okay, yep, the beast stuck wanting to attack there. Me resupplying my stuff. Oh no, whoops, that's actually the opponents resupplying their stuff. We're playing as Pact, of course. Apart from that, Crone wanting to attack there. Yeah. Well, we do have. Actually, I might just go over to their perspective again. Here we go. We do have some skirmishes here and there, nothing too decisive, and as you can see, well, opponents do have more score points than we do, so we have to make something happen. Otherwise, we'll either get a draw or a narrow loss, probably a narrow loss by the looks of things. And there we go, this is my reply. Going to be sending in a Scot to decapture Delta, and that'll be enough for us to get +2 points coming in. And what the hell, let's just have a look at these artillery shells landing somewhere rather, even managing to actually destroy a transport and panic the crap out of some other ones. Oh, there we go, destroying another couple of transports there. Chasseurs spilling out, unfortunately surviving, but there you go. And of course this logistics vehicle is going to take care of them, heal them back up, but I am actually... okay, well, I'm managing to panic some of their anti-air, which I think is what I was aiming to do. Can't remember, to be honest. Whoa, okay. Man, these pivots can definitely shoot a bit, to say the least, as well as these Bradleys for that matter. Not really sure why Andon is actually coming in with all these vehicles without any infantry. This forest, well, if he actually did put infantry in here, would be absolutely perfect for demolishing these vehicles pretty freaking easily. Even the mighty M1 Abrams won't really be able to do much against infantry coming up through it in a forest, so I'm not really sure why Napoleon hasn't actually put anything there. Well, I suppose these Bradleys would be able to actually lend a bit of... okay. Anyway, they'd be able to lend a bit of help, these Bradleys, but no, they're going to get taken out by these T-72s. And panicked, yeah, the towers aren't really going to do too much. We've actually got Abrams coming up, so... let's see how they fare against 3 BTRs. Their KPVTs can actually do damage... ouch. to armour at point blank range. Let's just have a look actually. Wow. Okay, that's interesting. Oh my god, and Andon was exposing the middle, not the middle, the rear and the side armour to these BTRs as well. Okay, definitely in the middle of things, and I think it was just the BTRs that actually got rid of the Abrams by the looks of things. Who to think? Who to think? Utterly bizarre. And yeah, again, continuing to flow into more troops. Just have a look. Ah, here we go. Yep, we got some napalm flames coming in as well. Just see if I can get it. Damn it, I want to get... oh, fuck it, whatever. Let's just look at these guys from above and see how they go. So yep, managed to take out one bit of anti-air. Another bit of anti-air. Rollins unfortunately do manage to survive. More stuff getting bombed to hell and back. And yeah, these limbs definitely doing a number on the enemy infantry as well. Same with my napalm planes coming in as well, doing a bit of damage. Unfortunately not really hitting anything too significant. One of them does get shot down, but not before it manages to land a napalm shot on the command vehicle. Unfortunately it's going to manage to get out of there, but well, what can you do? In fact, I should have this Scot here actually to capture the sink, which indeed I do. We still got +3 points coming in, so yeah, now that we've got more score points than our opponents, we should be alright, although yeah, it's always good to push ahead. It looks like our opponents are definitely trying to make something happen on the western flank, although it looks like their eastern flank has fallen entirely. The command vehicle's been destroyed and this position's going to fall pretty freaking quickly, to say the least. Although if I was Eagle, I would have... well, if I was Eagle and Crone, or Crone should I say, I would have sent in more infantry immediately. But there we go, did have some more sent in there. Could have actually sent them in a little bit earlier, but well, what can you do? And again, bunching up anti-air, definitely not something you really want to do as any faction, unless if it's really cheap AAA. We're talking 10 or 15 point AAA. I mean, that sort of stuff you can afford to bunch up a bit more. But this sort of stuff, Roland freeze, I mean, really, they're just being asked to get taken out by, well, some sort of area of effect weaponry. I mean, hell, even a lucky cluster bomber might be able to take both of them out before it gets destroyed. But there you go, we do have a counterattack by our opponents on the west, only against Juliet though, which is only 1 point worth, so it is a reinforcement zone as well actually, so if they can stop us from reinforcing, then that means India is going to be a little bit more vulnerable, but India can of course be reinforced from Kilo. And again, my artillery is getting ready to fire. Thankfully the FOB's got plenty of supplies to keep them running. And there you have it. Hopefully I'll be gearing up for another mass airstrike at some point as well. What the hell is this thing? Okay, it's just a cluster bomber. Yes it is. Mirage Fict actually doing not such a shabby little job versus a couple of vehicles. Not affecting the infantry much, but I'm pretty sure at least a couple of vehicles did get blown up there. Given their hulks that we're seeing there, unless they got blown up a bit earlier on. Whoops. Well, we'll see. So yeah, Golf, bizarrely enough... Oh, okay, that's what the command vehicle was as well, actually. So definitely need a bit more anti-air on our eastern flank. Just go back to the opponent's perspective. And I'm actually surprised that Crone let that fall. Oh, wait a minute. No, this is actually... Oh. Whoops. Okay, this is actually our opponent's natural point they're supposed to have captured. Oopsie, forgot about that. Well, in any case, more artillery coming, and this time I'm directing it towards the forward position on Charlie. In fact, this is a rather interesting positioning of their vehicles and infantry, leaving the command vehicle all the way back here. Not even any recon infantry around here, just to spot something hidden, although we do have some transports here I suppose, but a recon squad like, say for example, these Zwidnautsies, they could just walk around and just take out the Humvee if they wanted to. And in fact, if I knew that the Humvee was that exposed, I would have done just that. My god, that's a bit of a shocking place to really leave it. I mean, with nothing to support it even, it's just bloody ridiculous. Now, well, also going to be dropping a bit of napalm, and wow, it's really going to flame the shit out of them actually. Where the hell's... Ah, okay, this guy's going towards the forest. Presumably... Yep, although he will actually be able to get the Humvee as well, so... And also the forest at the same time, so there we go. Quite a bit of napalm being dropped. A few infantry sizzling in the heat, and there you go, everything else just getting panicked to hell and back. The Humvee being forced off completely, and it might actually die. Let's have a look. Nope, he will be able to get out of there, but... only just though, with only 2 hit points of health left, and at the same time rocket artillery actually coming in as well. Too bad I missed most of that, but that was kind of surprising, so that's going to panic the shit out of everything, going to leave them wide open for an aerial strike, which will hopefully be happening at some point. And there we go, Golf has finally been captured by us. We're definitely making some headway into the opponent's flank, but at the same time they're giving us the old right hook as well. Even sending in finally a command vehicle to Juliet to neutralise it. They do still have to make their way to this forest before they can really do anything. Very interesting position for Napoleon actually, to be sending up all his stuff here in these forests instead of sending in much here. I suppose he can sort of just attack like that if he really wants to. Not really sure what he's doing with that. Oh no, that's actually my MI2T coming in, not really doing too much. Revealing, I suppose, that there's stuff in the forest. Apart from that, not really too much at all. And yeah, no, actually Napoleon does have a nice little position here, set up with ATGMs and such to be able to fire, and looks like he'll be doing just that on the Abrams tanks. Okay, probably, actually could do some recon around here to see this other stuff that's here, but there you go. Actually maybe some infantry here just to aim at stuff going through this intersection wouldn't be such a bad idea either. Unfortunately the Abrams, they actually managed to get, wow, they actually managed to get by scot-free, taking absolutely no ATGM shots and even capturing a Ural just for the hell of it, which is then in turn revealing the BTRs. Not bad, getting veteran on killing their own Urals. Not bad, and unfortunately I did miss out on another strike there, but there we go. Looks like I managed to destroy quite a bit at that point. Looks like there's just the Rollins remaining, and that is literally it actually. No other anti-air, a couple of ATGMs, but really it's not much to say the least. So just the Roland. I'm pretty sure at this point I still didn't really know where the command vehicle was. I mean, for all I knew it could have actually been here, or even somewhere here maybe, or maybe here actually for that matter. But there we go, it's actually retreated back to where it was before, so if I do a napalm strike there again, it'll hit it again. And who knows, I might be able to destroy it before it can get out of the flames. We'll just see what happens. Still do have a bit of intense combat happening over Juliet, and yep, the point has been neutralized once again. Crap loads of napalm being dropped. Again, these command vehicles barely managing to survive, getting out of the flames pretty readily, as you can see. And my limbs are going to come in, and they're actually going to do quite a bit of damage with their fancy little rockets. They're incredibly cheap aircraft as well, managing to destroy a couple of Bradleys, I think. And I think some infantry as well, more stuff coming in. These limbs, just gotta love it. And of course following up with our massive artillery barrage. Indeed. That's going to be finishing off a couple more small squads. These guys are all panicked as well, so they won't be able to do too much, although unfortunately these guys are a bit panicked as well. Even got the BMP-1K actually firing up against these LVTPs. If I was Napoleon, I would be retreating them, to say the least. In fact, if I was actually Napoleon, I'd be sending up this Su-25T up against these vehicles. I'm not really sure why he's keeping them just hovering around the battlefield like that. But there you go, FA-18 Hornet coming in. He's forced to evac, though. He does manage to survive just barely, and I think that was one of our planes getting shot down, 100% sure. Juliet is saved, although hopefully Napoleon or someone else will be following up with infantry in this forest. We'll see what happens. An ATGM misses the T-80. Su-25T is still continuing to orbit around. Come on, there are some targets for them. I mean, they've got the Cobras and all that. Not much in terms of anti-air, actually. Oh, there we go. We actually have a couple of chaparrals coming in. Yeah, they're kind of short range, though. But still. And T-80s of Napoleon. Unfortunately, getting 2 shots by ATGMs there. Ouch. Sucks to be them, to say the least. And unfortunately my limbs are not going to fare too well either, now that the enemy is actually a bit more prepared. Although in mind actually I'm going to be sending us directly up against anti-air. And unfortunately one chaparral does manage to survive, which is kind of bizarre actually, given how these things basically... Actually, they do have a bit of armour, I guess, but really, they don't have much, to say the least. But there you go, one of them does manage to survive. Not really sure if that limb was too cost effective, but there we go, one of them coming back in. And, oh my god, managing to evac because of fuel. He just needs to stay there for a few more seconds. Oh well, what can he do? Somehow this BMP is still alive, despite the fact that it's been shot at by ATGMs and such. Who to think, eh? Who to freaking think? Eagle also continuing to flatten his forces to Echo. It's a good job keeping opponents on their toes. In fact, they probably don't even know about the infantry in these forests. Another good reason why they, you should kind of spread your stuff out, to make sure that nothing gets through. I mean, sure, that'll spread your stuff pretty thinly, but as soon as you encounter a threat, then you can afford to send more stuff at it to take it out. But there you go. Okay, it's got a bit of a pitched battle between French forces and Soviets, and unfortunately, actually, wait a minute, Chieftain 10's coming in. I might be able to turn the tide. The Concorders will be able to do quite a bit of damage against them. T-72M definitely doesn't stand a chance, and yeah, actually the Concorders will get taken out. If only due to sheer numbers, although these chieftains, what the hell are they actually shooting at? Oh, there we go, yeah, actually we're shooting at the Concorders there. No problemo. We've still got a couple more T-72Ms to do a bit of damage, actually, okay, yeah, they're just the average model. Nothing too special about them, and yeah, it looks like they will be able to hold this corridor. And speaking of which, it looks like Golf has actually been resecured, bizarrely enough. I'll be damned. Golf has actually been resecured briefly by our opponents. Unfortunately, their command vehicle does get taken out, I believe, by that aircraft. A couple more chieftains, for some reason, being bundled into groups of 4. Not really the best of things to do, especially with heavy vehicles like that. But there you have it, and well, actually ended a bit faster than I thought it would. I think I'll definitely be joining this to the previous game, most likely. Just having a look. Yeah, I didn't do that much damage. I probably could have done a bit more, but really, I think I was mostly just screwing around and spamming air and artillery most of the game, and assisting here and there. But yeah, mostly just being content to bombard with aircraft and artillery. since we were kind of winning by a pretty large margin. Could have assisted a bit more when it came to direct fire, but there you go. Fun game nonetheless. So I shall see you all next time.